Weymouth and the start of the 1994 Cutty Sark Tall Ships race. Tall ships have been the talk of the town for 2 years, since Weymouth was officially invited to host this prestigious race for an unprecedented third time. An estimated 750,000 visitors are expected to come here over the next 4 days, and this is what they've come to see. Nearly 80 of the most magnificent sailing ships in the world. Weymouth is the place King George III took his first dip into the sea that made swimming and seaside holidays fashionable. The royal visit in 1789 helped Weymouth become one of the most popular holiday resorts in England. To celebrate tall ships, Weymouth has taken on an international atmosphere and status. Council leaders are understandably keen to ensure the event is a success in as many ways as possible.
Oh, that Weymouth has not just got a tourist success, but a success for the economic development of the area. That's the important thing.
And do you think this is Weymouth's finest hour?
Oh, there are continual finest hours for Weymouth, but this has got to be one of the highlights.
It means a great deal, particularly in this economic climate, because we're able to tell people from outside exactly what the development possibilities are. And of course it means such a great deal for the town. It's really put Weymouth on the map. It's a very important occasion for us.
A good time to try your first oyster.
What do I do with this now? Give me the shell.
Yeah, chew it.
Chew it,
Yeah.
and swallow it. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll wake your mouth up. It's wonderful.
Yeah, do you want the juice?
That's very nice, actually, yeah.
How was business for you today?
Very good, thank you very much, yeah. It's, a lot of people about, a lot of oysters being sold. I think people are enjoying themselves on the whole. And obviously we're looking forward to the next 2 or 3 days as well.
I'm enjoying this.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't eat one of these, but I'll have a cooked one. Delicious.
Absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're fabulous. We've always wanted to see it, and the fact that it's come to the south has meant we can get here.
Where have you come from?
We've come from East
Sussex.
Sussex. So.
And you
Not
came
too
all
bad.
the way.
Yeah.
Just for this
That's right.
week.
And are you glad you came?
Oh yeah,
Very much
yeah.
so.
We've been looking forward to it for months, haven't we?
Yeah, we actually tried to book up down here about 6 months ago, and it took a long time for us to find somewhere that we could book into.
One of the few events that can only be held somewhere like this. You know, I mean, in any other harbour, you have to walk miles. It's right in the centre of town. All the boats are here. There's plenty of people taking people out to look at the boats. It's, you know, absolutely wonderful.
If I could have a pound for every moment I've spent worrying another little things in life that frankly there's no hurrying. rich girl, and I wanna be a rich girl soon. But going at this rate, I think that it might well change to this life on the moon. Oh, where does the time go? Does anyone know? Where does the time go? Does anyone know? Oh, where does the time go? Does anyone know?
The mini tall ships regatta on Radipole Lake combined the old skills of sailing with the modern technique of remote control. And to complement the nostalgia of the tall ships, a rally of Rolls-Royce motor cars on the Esplanade.
Another little things in life that frankly there's no hurry. Yeah. I'm gonna be a rich girl, and I'm gonna be a rich girl soon. Oh, but going at this rate, I think that it might well change to this life on the moon. Oh, where does the time go? Oh, where does the time go? Oh, tell me where does the time go? Where does the time go? Where does it go? Where does it go? I've been counting on
For a lucky few, there was an opportunity to meet His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, patron of the Sail Training Association who organised the Cutty Sark tall ships races. His Royal Highness says he has no doubt that the race across the famous Bay of Biscay will demand the highest level of skill, teamwork and determination from the crews, and the hospitality of the ports will ensure that all the participants enjoy an unforgettable set of experiences. The Sail Training Association, supported by some of the most famous sailors in the world, was established 40 years ago.
Well, it started in 1956, would you believe? It's an awful long time ago. And over the period of time, it's taken an awful lot of young people between 16 and 26 to sea. And really what it's all about, it's I suppose, the climax to the Sail Training Ships Association's year. And we're doing this all the year round, all of us, but once a year we all get together, we go off on a trip. One year we'll go north to Scandinavia, next year we'll go south, Spain, Portugal, something like that. And we'll swap crews around a bit, so the youngsters from all over Europe really get together and mix together in a ship, which probably is good because they're all sharing a new experience. So they actually probably learn better together like that than they would in a normal situation. And I think it's just this wonderful opportunity for young people, one, to be stretched a little, to learn to endure a little. I don't mean nasty, I mean nicely, and to mix with other fellow Europeans.
Visitors were clearly thrilled to chat with Prince Philip, and after the first day it was clear that, weather permitting, the 1994 tall ships race was going to be a huge success.
Well, it's gone tremendously up to now. The first day we expected to be one of the busiest days because it was a Sunday. We think there's been something in the order of 300,000 people in town. Phenomenal number of people. Very successful, no trouble whatsoever. Very, very popular day. Busy on the traffic side, but the car parks coped with it. Trains were busy. All the coach services were well used, so it all fitted together very well indeed.
It is a superb event. So many people down here watching it, all enjoying themselves. Nice to see the youngsters on the ships. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Everything. There's nothing to complain about. There's nothing to complain. It's brilliant.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. So I'm surprised there's so many of them down here. You know, it's about 72 down here at the moment. Thousands of people. Unbelievable.
So I suppose it's the romance of it. The having done quite a bit of sailing years ago myself, you know, enjoyed it. One would like to take part again in it, but this is the nearest, as far as I'm concerned, I shall get.
It's exciting as well, and like you think you're there thinking which one's going to win.
Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober. Put him in a longboat till he's sober and lie in the morning. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises. Hooray, and up she rises early in the morning.
The ethos of the tall ships races is to promote international friendship and broaden the horizons of young people. All the ships taking part obey just one rule. Half the crew must be aged between 15 and 25.
Hey, ashes above me, hey, ashes above me, hey, ashes above me, gdy przyjdzie raniówka. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises, hooray, and up she rises early in the morning. Pociągniemy go pod kilem, pociągniemy go pod kilem, pociągniemy go pod kilem, gdy przyjdzie raniówka. Hej, jak się zabawimy, hej, jak się zabawimy, hej, jak się zabawimy, gdy przyjdzie raniówka.
I think it's really nice. Yeah? It's the first time I'm joining it, and especially Weymouth. It's a great place for partying. A lot of pubs around, and you're lying with your boat just inside life.
Oh, it's marvelous, excellent, and ever what the best. You see, I have never met as hospitality people as, for example, in Weymouth.
Excellent. I think Weymouth have done a really good job for what they've put on for us, you know. Had great fun. The race hasn't even started yet.
I did it last year, and we went to Esbjerg, and that was brilliant. It's just as good here. It's great fun.
Let's have a do! Let's have a do! 6 flaming fire torches, 1 juggler, 1 ambulance, hopefully. Woo!
While the crews enjoyed a beach barbecue and a bop to the Jess Upton Soul Band, the captains and honoured guests ate a banquet in the Weymouth Pavilion's aptly named Ocean Room.
They say, old man, that your horse will die, and they say so, and we hope so. Oh, they say, old man, that your horse will die, oh, poor old man. For 1 long month I rode him hard, and they say so, and we hope so. For 1 long month I rode him hard, oh, poor old man. Oh, we'll hoist him up to the main yard arm, and they say so, and we hope
crew members and as many holidaymakers taking part in the Torchlight Parade. They've come from along the beach, they've walked back along the esplanade. It's a truly spectacular sight. And then there were fireworks. There is considerable competition to be selected as a host port for the race circuit, as tall ships mean big business.
It's been tremendous, very successful. I think everybody's been really happy. Tremendous feel in the town, great buzz about the residents and the holidaymakers. More people than we anticipated. It looks as though we could be well over 750,000, and extensive publicity worldwide. So it's going to be good for not only the tourism side, but the economic development of the town.
A special tall ship service at Holy Trinity Church that overlooks the quay was attended by crews, residents and visitors from all over the world and many different faiths.
Privilege to join you. And because I'm doing a crash course in learning all about the Sail Training Association, I'm actually going to be sailing on the Winston Churchill in this race, so I'm going to go off into the body of the Kirk and join in and listen to the briefing with the rest.
At the captain's briefing before the final parade of sail, the master mariners discussed how to leave port as smoothly and efficiently as they entered. Quite simply, it was a case of last one in, first one out.
So that they all move into the harbour fairway and then go off. We think that's the best way and the quickest way to get ships out.
What's your role been in this tall ships event?
My role has been very much, I'm a make-you-learn at the moment, only having been here for a week. Very much in the deep end, very much keep your head down, keep your mouth shut and see how everything's working. What I've noticed is that everyone's put an awful lot of, a tremendous lot of work into the arrangements, and they're all shattered now with the physical effort they put in over the last few days. We were expecting the worst, and I think we've got the best. Everything is anti-climax now, the ships are in and everything's going extremely well. Lots of good reports, wonderful atmosphere, and everyone's well pleased. Very tired but well pleased.
Kleines Mann, wo sind so still, ja so still, weil dann jeder nach seiner Heimat sich sehnt, die er gern einmal wiedersehen will. Ja, wenn das Schifferklavier an Bord ertönt, ja dann sind die Matrosen so still, ja so still, weil dann jeder nach seiner Heimat sich sehnt, die er gern einmal wiedersehen will.
The moment we've all been waiting for, this is the parade of sail before the tall ships leave Weymouth Bay heading for La Coruna in Spain. A truly perfect moment and an unforgettable 4 days. Each year there is a race between two ports, a cruise to a third and a race to a fourth. This year the fleet gathers at Weymouth, races 430 miles across the Bay of Biscay to La Coruna in Spain. Here the crews have a chance to swap ships with a 165-mile cruise to Oporto in Portugal. Finally, a 700-mile race takes the fleet north to the finish in Saint-Malo, France. The four masts of the Sedov tower above the other tall ships. She is the largest sailing ship in the world that still goes to sea. Now based in Murmansk, the Sedov appears at most sail training events. She is one of the most popular tourist attractions wherever she goes. The 200 crew have their own cinema on board and a museum dedicated to the ship's history and the Russian explorer the Sedov is named after. The Eintracht, a three-mast schooner, was commissioned by Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands in 1989. She's nearly 60 metres long and 41.7 metres tall.
Something special in comparison to the other ships over here is that it's in fact a brand new ship. She's just 5 years old now, and most of the ships you'll see here are at least 50, probably 80, probably even 100 years or even older. But it's pretty rare that they build a ship like this, I mean this size, nowadays. We got a crew of 40, and they're all between 16 and 26 years of age. And when you take into account the fact that, say, 80% of them have never been to sea before, they're doing quite well.
Well, I'm sailing for just a few years here on this ship. I've been on several races, also to the other countries last year and years before. So it's not the first time, but it's really great.
wer must zijn to my holiday, to my holiday. The ships and the must never bind to my sein, to my holiday, holiday, ho. Boys, blow for California. There's plenty of gold, so I am told, from the banks of Sacramento. Boys, blow for California. There's plenty of gold, so I am told, from the banks of Sacramento. The deck where police all shit and was fair. My whole day, my whole day. Dat wär der Schiedgänger schönsten Dessert. My whole day, oh, oh, Boys, blow for California. There's plenty of gold, so I am
Моя команда – это студенты института.
Our crew is the students of this university.
Мы четвертый раз делаем дальние плавания с Cutty Sark рейсом.
This is our fourth time take part in Cutty Sark race.
We met them yesterday in town. We got speaking. We was invited by the captain to come on board his ship. They give us their oatmeal they eat for breakfast, which is totally different to ours. They haven't got no sponsorship whatsoever because Russia doesn't sponsorship them. They're looking for sponsors. They've invited us to go with them aboard as well. And I just believe the Russians have been very friendly and very forward. And I think they need a little bit of support. And I think it would be good for England to give that little support to Russia.
Weymouth has its very own tall ship.
TS Ashford is a brig which has two masts, both of which have horizontal spars for which is slightly sailed, square rigged. It's a very complicated brig, which is ideal for a lot of trainees because lots of work to do. But it's also, at 106 feet on deck, very much the length of the vessel that conquered the world. People look at cruising instead of and think that is the age of sail. But actually, that was an aberration at the end of the age of sail, the last 50 or so years. The main age of sail, the world was conquered by vessels this size. Captain Cook, Bligh, Flinders, Bass, Vancouver, they were all sailing around the world this size of ship.
I've seen tall ships at boat shows and things and thought, wow, amazing boats. And it was mentioned in school and there was a few of us who said, well, we'll have a look at it. And it progressed from there and we merged into a team. We've just about mastered what each rope does. We've been up the masts. It's quite nerve-wracking, but it's great fun.
Winning in this sort of race is not actually the main object. The main object of this race is very much more closer to the original Olympic ideals, which is participation is the aim, and winning is merely a spin-off. But obviously we would like to win, but that is not the aim of the game. The aim of the game is to participate, group way to enjoy themselves, meet as many other vessels and other young people of different nationalities as possible, and generally have a good time.
Nowadays, it's a world in which people live and everything is done for you. It's a world of video games, of videos. It's a world where people do an awful lot by watching. This is participation. It's group-centered, it's good, it's very healthy, it's green, it's clean, it's great fun, it's very taxing, it's very frightening at times, it's even dangerous at times, and appeals, I think, to people who are coddled an awful lot and would rather like a little more. Faramir Trust was formed in 1991 to encourage sailing in the northeast of England. particularly for the long-term unemployed there.
On an empty nest, while the cold sun sets, and the winter is barely begun. There's a lighthouse a mile from the shore that the storm-weary sailors search for. When the wind and rain bring their gales again, oh, it won't shine for them anymore. On the skyline the tall ships sail by, bound for London, their decks piled high. Fruits of warmer lands passing through our hands, so we look for a storm in the sky. Family that stands on the sea, they work as old ships on the sea. On an empty nest, while the cold sun sets, and the winter is barely begun. There's a lighthouse a mile from the shore that the storm-weary sailors search for. When the wind and rain bring their gales again, oh, it won't shine for them anymore. On the skyline the tall ships sail by, bound for London, their decks piled high. Fruits of warmer lands passing through our hands, so we look for a storm in the sky.
The Lord Nelson is a very special tall ship.
Well, she was purpose-built for taking all the different handicaps, and the most obvious perhaps is the wheelchair access between all decks. There's lifts, wide doorways and low sills. But then there's other things like where we're standing here. This is a gyro compass for everyone to steer by. But if your sight's not too good, we have a large digital readout here, which most people can see. But if you're blind or really struggle to see that, we can turn up the volume here, and someone who's blind can steer by sound, because she's the only sailing vessel which can take physically handicapped and able-bodied people to sail offshore on equal terms. And it shows to able-bodied people just how much someone who happens to have a disability can do, especially given the extra time which we allow and the extra facilities. Oh, there's been hairy, scary moments. There's bound to be. There's a danger in crossing a road and a danger in sailing. But it's a controlled danger, it's a controlled adventure, and it's one well worth taking.
What has it meant to you to sail on the Lord Nelson in this event?
It's been a great opportunity to get away from land and sort of experience the exhilaration of the sea, plunging up and down through the waves and just being free, out of contact, and being able to participate in all the activities on board.
Tell us about your crew that you're sailing with.
The crew is totally made up of voluntary people like yourself and myself to come along, of all age groups, with absolutely no experience required. 40 people will pay up a few pounds to come along, and they're split up into four teams of people, 10 in each team, and each one is made up of persons with abilities and people with disabilities, and there will be a few then along with chairs as well. And they each then have a watch duty to do, which participates of 4 hours up on the bridge here, watching out at sea, looking about for other ships, lobster pots, any such thing. Each person then gets a chance at the helm and steer the ship for a while, and then join in with the various rope activities of pulling the sails up and bringing them down again.
Now it's time to sit back, relax and enjoy the sheer beauty and magnificence of these sailing ships as they head for the start of the 1994 Cutty Sark Tall Ships Race. Bon voyage.